You know, if you had to ask me what the United States' greatest contribution to world cuisine was, I'd tell you it's the hamburger. Very simple. Fantastic hamburger is unbeatable. But it takes a lot to make something so simple. You know, one of the great chefs on earth, Fergus Henderson, who runs St. John in London, recently said, simple isn't easy. And he's absolutely right. It takes a lot of preparation to make a simple hamburger. First of all, like you do with a great steak, you have to start with a great animal. So, you know, if you don't have good beef, whatever you do to your hamburger, however you gussy it up, it's never going to be a great hamburger. So get great beef. Then you have to choose the right part of the beef. You need something with some fat in it. So, you know, for me, when I'm making my hamburgers at home, I tend to use what they call CLOD. CLOD is like the shoulder part of the beef. And then I might mix it with a leaner part, but the CLOD is very fatty, it's got a lot of sinew in it, which I think really adds to the flavor of a hamburger. So you grind that down, then you might put a bit of other more lean meat in there to give it more texture. It doesn't need much else, you know. Salt, pepper, maybe if you really want to give it some juiciness, I sometimes will grind half an onion into my grind. But that's about it. You don't need to go to town. Some people put all sorts of other stuff into their grind, and that's fine. But if you're just trying to make a great simple hamburger, just really keep it simple. And always grind your own meat. Never just buy pre-ground meat from the butcher. You know why? Because you have no idea what they're putting in it. Do it yourself. It's very easy. Once you've got your meat, it's forming the perfect hamburger. And too many times you see people making these patties and really crushing them together. And what that means is all the sort of juices just get stuck in the middle. They don't get to move around when you cook it on the griddle. So just make a loose patty with your beef and make sure it kind of sticks together and cook it on a griddle. You need to get that char on the outside, and whatever the health police tell you, a good hamburger needs to be medium in the middle. It doesn't need to be cooked all the way through, particularly if you're using really great beef. You know, this is the beef that a lot of people will use for beef tartare. So, you know, they'll be eating it raw, so you can cook it medium in the middle. Then you need a good bun. And for me, you need a kind of semi-sweet bun. The nature of a good hamburger bun is that it has a little bit of sweetness to it that just works with the fattiness of the beef. And then I like to keep my accompaniments really, really simple. Onion, raw onion. I'm not a great fan of using caramelized onions and stuff. I think they add too much to it. Good, sharp, raw onion. Some big, juicy beefsteak tomatoes, some lettuce, and then if you like cheese, use some good cheese. I actually like slices of cheddar, but I'm a real fan of just using good, processed American cheese because that's what the hamburger was made with. And then on top of that, if you want some mustard, you want some mayonnaise, you want some ketchup, that's down to you, but nothing much more than that to make a great simple hamburger. And actually, if you do that well, it's as good as anything you can eat on the planet.